not to be trusted.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 268. I am your host, Keith Andrew. Along here is two beautiful women, Cassie and Ms. Jonah. I just want to say thank you if I butchered your name, I apologize.
Oh, that's okay. Casey or Cassandra, either one's good. So no worries.
I'm here as two beautiful women, and before Skype cuts us off, let's jump into it. Basically, half hour, 45 minutes. You can say anything you want, curse if you want to. I'm going to ask you guys certain questions, and I'm going to pass it over to both of you, and basically you can ask each other whatever you want. You basically build in a new friendship. It was the three of us, and it's like a hangout. It's a bit like one of those trust building circles. So basically, you're supporting a good cause and you're making a new friend out of it. So, with that being said, starting off, the first question's for both of you. Haven't done this as of late. This is why I want to do double interviews, because I want to talk I can't even talk. My learning disability is shown. I want to talk in front of a group of people. People were telling me I should be a spokesman. I should be a most motivational speaker. I should speak in front of audiences. So doing double interviews, it's perfect for me to get that practice. Without bustering it, the first subject I want to talk to you guys is life growing up. Who would like to start?
Say that again. What you mean? Oh, did you say life growing up? What life was like growing up?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, Cassie, why don't you start?
Oh, okay. Sure. Well, I grew up in upstate New York. I'm from a little village up there called Altamont. It's kind of like a small farming town. It's 1,100 people. It's an old Victorian village. It's pretty cool. But, of course, growing up, I was super bored. But, I come from a family. I have an older brother and older sister. I come from my parents are both hippies, so I had a very laid back upbringing, I would say. I actually initially, I always had a love for, like, my whole family. Basically, when we're home together, we all like watch comedy together. We always like do characters. Like, we're just a strange oddball family. So I always grew up with that and loved it. And I always wanted to do performing and do acting. But then I had crazy stage fright when I was younger. So rather than going into the arts in college, I went and I studied pre-med, actually, and I got a pre-med degree. And then when I got out of college, decided I don't want to go into medicine. I love it, but it's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do acting. So I started taking improv classes, which helped a lot with the stage fright. And then that was it from there. I was hooked.
Wow, that's great. That's so cool.
yeah. My dad went to Bard College, which I think says it all. My mother, she went to Woodstock. She still has her ticket stubs. So yeah, they definitely flower child people, but it's great because you get a nice upbringing, and that way everything's kind of laid back and liberal. So it's cool. It's better to just let your kids make their choices themselves. I think it's a good way to go.
Yeah. My parents were, my mother was very liberal and my father was very conservative. So as we got older and the Vietnam War was raging on, and the dinner conversations, to put it in the most polite terms, were spirited.
But, put it very politely.
But I grew up kind of all over the Northeast. My parents actually met doing theater. They met doing summer stock in Long Beach Island, New Jersey. And when I'm the third of three kids, but when the first one was born, they stopped doing acting professionally because they had, children on the way. And my dad got a job working for the railroad. And he was in sales, and he was so good at it because he had this acting background that we moved like every 6 to 8 months until I was in junior high school.
Oh, that's hard.
I think, by the time I was in 8th grade, I think I'd been in 10 different schools, which But it's so funny. I loved it. I didn't mind it. So like 3 kids, right? It's so weird with nature or nurture. The only time my dad ever called home, this were different times. I don't know how old you are, but I think I'm older than you. If your mom went to Woodstock, I'm your mom's age. Anyway, but back when I was a kid, the only time that my dad ever called home during the day was when we were moving, when he'd just gotten a promotion. And so us 3 kids, my brother would be furious, and he would start stomping around the house screaming, I'm not going anywhere. My sister would burst into tears and say, but I don't want to move. And I'd start dancing around going, Dad, we're moving!
It's the only people,
And so, yes, there's no wonder that I followed in my parents' footsteps and became an actress.
Yes. Well, that's what's good about acting. You got a new job every time too, so you meet all new people again too. So it's just like moving around,
Right. So, are you a singer, dancer, actor?
I do sing and dance, but I don't do it professionally now. I did it a lot growing up. So now I just concentrate on acting, and I write and I direct too. So I do those triple threats now instead of the singing and dancing. So.
Okay. And are you do you concentrate in theater or are you in film?
Film and television, yeah.
Oh.
And web series now too. A lot of the web stuff now. So.
Oh, that's great. And pretty much mostly stage stuff. So talk about your web series things.
Well, I actually, because like I said, I also write and direct my own stuff too. So I've created a few between series and shorts. My first series was called One Shameful Day. It's based on reenactments of embarrassing stories. Is what I just thought it'd be fun to do that. So,
great idea.
I was like, who doesn't want to see that? Some people write into Cosmo, and that Cosmo magazine is like a spread every month. I mean, I haven't read that magazine in a long time, but back in the day, women would write in, and you hope that your, story would get in one of the pages there, and you tell your embarrassing story. But I was like, how much better it'd be to see a bunch of improv actors just act it out. So, and then I also thought it'd be cool to make it interactive, and people can then write in their stories for a chance to have us reenact it. So that was the premise of the web series. I shot the first 3 episodes, and then submitted that to the film festivals, and actually ended up winning the LA Comedy Festival, which was awesome because it was, thank you. It was a nice surprise. I was like, all right, first web series, sweet. So, and then it got into this French festival. And then after that, I did some shorts. One of them just won an Indie Fest award. It got into the Hollywood Short Film Festival, and I was nominated for Best Actress in it. So that was nice too, because that was one I wrote for kind of shits and giggles for a friend because she wanted some stuff for her reel. I'm like, I'll write some shorts then. Sure, we can shoot some stuff. And then I was like, it turned out kind of good. I'll submit to some festivals. So that was nice. And then I just wrote a second web series now that I started to submit some film festivals. And I also wrote a pilot based off of that, which I'm submitting the pilot to festivals too. So we'll see how it goes. But that would like to be more of an episodic network kind of thing.
Yeah. Wow, that's fantastic. Holy cow.
No, thanks.
Let's see. And I got up this morning and had some coffee.
Well, what about you at stage now? I'm sure you've done some awesome shows.
Yeah, it's been an interesting couple of years for sure. I live in New York at the moment, but are you in New York or where are you? Are you based out of LA?
No, I'm in New York, but I live in Westchester now. I just moved up here, but New York, yeah. I go to the city almost every day for work, so.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mostly am doing regional theater these days, which I love, and it's so great because I don't know. Somebody says, I'm moving to such and such a town, and then I say, oh, really? And then I go and look and see if there's a theater there, and if there is, I write to them and say, hey, I'd like to audition for you, or I see that you're doing such and such. Can I audition for that? And they say yes, and then I get hired, and then I get to go and hang out wherever my friend happens to be living for 2 months. So it's
That's
kind
pretty
of
works out. Yeah.
yeah. So it's it's like I get to see the world, or the country anyway, and work on new stuff. I'm mostly I work on a lot of new plays, and I work on them from like the get-go, like a first table read. That seems to be what I do mostly. People don't usually call me up to do classical theater because I guess, I don't know. You know how this happens. Whatever it is that you wind up doing, you do it for a while, and then that's what people see you doing, and then you get really good at it, and so that's all you do. And like I know friends who are in, who like friends who do like Shakespeare, and that's all they ever get called for is Shakespeare. Nobody ever calls me for Shakespeare, but you know what? I don't really mind that. So
yeah, I was like, it's not always a bad thing.
It works out. It all works out really well. Yeah. And Keith, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
How did you come to invite both of us to get interviewed?
Well, how the double interview came about was about, I didn't want to reschedule it, and I had both of you at the same time. And I was like, well, my format is about supposed to be having more than one person. So what the hell, let's just do it. So, I like doing on double interviews. It's more fast-paced. I give you a perfect example. When I started my talk show, is about 2013. What you saw on the screen, my phone reflection, that's what the camera picked up. And so season 2 would be what the camera saw, and that's what picked up on the computer screen. So first you didn't see me, then you kind of saw me, and so now I'm doing Skype recorder, so it's going to be cut in half. But in this case, I'm not going to be included, it's just you guys. You guys should be there, but I'd be split in half. And my other interviews, you're on the one side, I'm on the other. So it looks like Fox News, CNN. And this really helps me get over my social anxiety, panic attacks. And like I said, I want to talk to more than one person at a time. So this is kind of like therapy for myself.
But awesome. Well, that's great.
No, I appreciate
we're happy to help too. Happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so did we all meet on page 32? Or stage 32?
No, I don't know if, Keith, did you find me from the Actors Green Room, or?
I found you, I found one of you on 32, and I found the other one on Facebook.
Yeah, I think you're friends with a lot of people that I'm friends with that are through the Actors Green Room. I'm friends with a lot of people that we have mutual friends, so I think that's how you found me.
So what is Actually, that's my next subject. I didn't mean to interrupt. I apologize.
Oh, no.
What is the Actors Green Room? Do you have to pay for that, or?
No, it's actually, it's kind of just this big group. Jen Rudolph is the founder and the lady that runs it. She's really great, actually, really nice. And it's everything from workshops with casting directors, which those are, you do have to pay for to meet up with the casting directors and read in front of them, and but it's kind of like a class. You get you get information as far as the background info of what casting directors deal with actors and what their pet peeves are and what they want to see, and kind of that kind of basic info, and then also you read for them, they give you notes, and you get to watch everybody else on a screen while they're in the room with the cast directors, so you get to see their notes. So it's a good learning process. And then it's also a community. So basically, Jen puts together like certain nights for everybody to get together. There's Actors Green Room has the Green Lounge on Facebook, where it's basically a community for actors to all be on and give support to each other when we need support. And it's cool because it's one of those places that could be really you get everything across the board when you come to actors. So you get, the nice level-headed normal ones, and you get some of the crazy ones, and you get, everything under the sun. So, so far we've been lucky, I think, of just getting a really group of nice people in there, and everybody really gives support to each other. And, you write in, like, if you have questions about things, or if you have a big audition coming up and you just need some good vibes, or, whatever it is that you need help with as an actor, because God knows we need a lot of support. It's not an easy field to be in. You get a lot of rejection. There's a lot of not knowing why you're getting rejected, just confusion with a lot of things. There's a lot of things being out of your hands and not having the power to control, and needing just help sometimes wrapping your head around that and trying not to get too down on yourself or take it to heart too much. So I think that's why it's a nice group to have people come together and support each other in such a tough biz.
Yeah. I had a group of friends. We would get together every Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock, and we had a support group meeting every week. And everybody had a list of their goals, of what they wanted to accomplish that week, and we would write out like year goals and 5-year goals, but we would do weekly goals. And if there was something coming up that something was, particularly intimidating for somebody, like, I've got this interview on next Thursday. Oh, well, okay, I'll call you, a half an hour before your interview to see how you're doing and give you a pep talk. And it's, I think that it's really true. We can flourish in the artistic end of this business so easily. And it's very difficult to flourish on the business end.
Yeah, the combo of the two.
Without some support, and sometimes people, like, I know that I flourished because I had I had support that it was a more rigorous thing. I mean, some people are just cool that they could go, yeah, I've got 2 friends that I can call up, but for me it was so great to have like a weekly thing. And we got a lot accomplished. I mean, the people that I were with, we all went on to do what we wanted to do, including getting nominated for an Oscar for Best Documentary, for starting 2 theater companies, starting a production company in Los Angeles, and so it was really
awesome.
Really, yeah, it is awesome, and it's called the Actors Green Room, huh? That sounds fabulous.
Yeah. I mean, they've been around for a while, and they've really grown a lot in the past few years. And I think, it started out a bit as like a community, but it was, I think, initially concentrated kind of on, steering actors in the right direction, and then also, the meet and greets with the cast directors. And then it's just grown and grown over the years, and it's just kind of flourished into even more of a community kind of feel with it, which is nice. So it's not just, you just don't go there just to take classes. It's, they have, on Sundays, they have this thing called Create, which is just like basically for the soul. It's like you go there and you just get there's these 2 women that run it, and they're just amazing. And you just concentrate, you write in questions that you want for each week to talk about, and they pick one. And then it's just kind of like I don't even know how to describe it, but it's just this awesome group that you come together, and they just kind of delve into topics, and it's awesome. You feel like so energized after it, and like, oh, okay, now I got my head on straight again. I can do this. Like, I can tackle this again. So yeah, it's nice to just you have to. It's just such a tough career. You have to have, at least a group of good friends that you can talk to, and then if your friends aren't around, you can't talk to them, you got a group that you can go to online that are some awesome people there too. That's really nice. So it's good to have multiple outlets, because it's such a tough bit not beat yourself up, including
the neighborhood bartender.
Yeah, exactly. You're just a neighborhood bartender. You just gotta drink and unload what you gotta unload. Do it, whatever works and keep you sane.
When the next question now it's
What'd you say?
The next question I was going to ask is, have you guys ever been to Woodbury Commons in New York?
Yeah, I've been there.
No, I have not. I don't know where it is.
Oh, it's near West Point.
Oh, I've been to West Point a long time ago when I was in 8th grade. our class went to West Point, and we were acted up so badly that our school was barred from ever visiting West Point again.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
That's
it was
pretty
like
serious.
Lord of the Flies. I swear to God, Lord of the Flies. We were like little animals. Well, it was about 120 degrees, and there was no water anywhere, and we were on a bus that kept breaking down, and every time we had to go up a hill, all of us had to get off the bus so that the bus could go up because it couldn't with all of the weight of us on it. Yeah. So by the time we got there, we were like animals unleashed. There was
probably
like
delusional at that point from sweating and being tired and dehydrated. Like
there was a fountain and somebody screamed and we just went ah! And we all ran. Yeah, it wasn't good. But anyway, back to the Commons.
So why do you ask about
I was going to say, if you guys ever want to hang out, we should spend a day at the Woodbury Commons.
Oh, is that where you're located? You live up there?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
What about you? How far are you from Woodbury Commons?
You go ahead.
Oh, yeah. It takes about a little over an hour, I'd say. About an hour just to get there, because I'm actually, even though I'm in Westchester, I'm not that far up from Yonkers. I'm like just a little bit above Yonkers, so I'm only a few miles. I'm like 13 miles from the city, from the center of the city, like Midtownish. So it's pretty similar time-wise coming from the city to get up there. But at least if I go and it's like, a busy day, like a Friday or something, it doesn't take me the hour and a half to get out of the city that it does. So at least I'm already out of the city when I head up. So I save myself that at least. But yeah.
Right. And I'm about the same then because I live in Midtown Manhattan. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Where are you? Like what vicinity of the low west or east?
57th on the west side.
Oh, nice. I was on 51st on the west side for a long time, 51st and 9th, when I first lived in the city a few years ago.
Yeah, I first lived on 48th Street between 9th and 10th, and this was back when Hell's Kitchen was Hell's Kitchen, when all of 9th Avenue was burnt out buildings. There were no stores. There were no restaurants. I remember they opened a Blimpies, and we were all so happy. And I ate Blimpie sandwiches 3 times a day because there was some place to go in the neighborhood to eat. Yeah. So is it different now?
Oh yeah. No, I mean even from when I was there, and I wasn't even there. I was there. First moved there in 2006, 2005, which isn't even that long ago. But even since then, like within the past 10 years, it's like, whoa. I mean, I knew it was going to become, a major like restaurant hub and kind of hot spot. Back then, I could see it, venturing into that zone, and now it's like, whoa, yeah. Totally different area when I go over. I mean, it looks nice. At least it's cleaned up from, I know, many, many years ago, especially around Times Square area. It was really bad. So, sorry, my pup's barking in the background.
He gets to express himself too, right?
Yeah, it's probably somebody's too close to my gate right now. So she gets irate. She lets me know.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's a watchdog,
Yeah, good. We feel safe, right?
No, honestly, it's better than ADT. That's what I have, but it's better than that.
Actually, I got a funny story about that if you guys want to hear it.
Yeah, of course.
During Hurricane Sandy, I was living out of a hotel for, 2 hotels. First it was American Budget Inn. It was okay, after the first night or two. It was freezing and my dad was getting sick. It's like, I can't do this or I end up dying here. So we went to the Budget Inn. It was kind of a ghetto, rundown hotel. But it was okay. You had a roof over your head. You had hot water. You had a bed. You had a TV. My mom didn't like it. She said, I'm not staying in the house and freeze. I'm not going to that shit shack. So my dad said, fine. We're going to go to Middletown, so we went to the Holiday Inn. So for the past 14 days, we were stayed, not recently, but during Hurricane Sandy for the 14 days. My mom liked it, it was rough. I thought it was like a mini vacation. But, but during that time, actually 2 funny stories, you don't mind. But the first one is while we're waiting for the power pole, because there was a pole up from where I live going that way, it was snapped in half. And Orange and Rockland were saying, well, you know, we need a wink special team, and there's a special team that's going to come down. And my dad said, just hang up the phone. And I said, no, I like to ask you this. Now, when you mean special, what do you mean by that? And my dad's like, oh my God, just hang up the phone. I said, like, one person's got to hold the pole, and the other one's got to fix the wire. Is that it? You know, I like making people laugh.
That's hilarious.
But it was
I'm sure they never got asked that to before either. It's awesome.
But really.
But it was the ADT. It's like, we didn't know because we used to set the alarm before we left. And it was connected to the phone. And the phone's connected to the power. And the power is connected to the modem. Now, with that being said, when the alarm went off, who was receiving the signal? Because it would go from the motor because of the power. But, make a long story short, the alarm was set, but no one was receiving an alarm. So now we have a cell phone built into it, so now if the power does go out, 3 days we will have an alarm. After 3 days, you know, you're shit out of luck. But before they put the cell phone into the alarm, it was like, well, if we are away and someone breaks into the house, what happens to the alarm? Well, I don't know. We're not going to receive it. So my dad...
That's basically useless.
My dad said, you know what, I want a refund for the whole month because, you know, I spent a whole month in the hotel. Yeah. You know, from the all of October... see, when was Hurricane Sandy? It was the 26th, and it was after the 26th of October.
October, yep.
And
October 2012?
Yes. And we came back, I came back in this house a week before Thanksgiving. So during that time, I was at the hotel. So my dad said, I want a refund for the whole month because your service didn't do jack shit.
Exactly. Did he get the refund?
He did. But was ADT, I keep calling it ADT, it's kind of like, you know, what was the point? And now for you, do you like it? Do you hate it?
I mean, I like it just sort of knowing that I have an alarm system. And the thing that's tough is that I think we've had the fire department have to come out here twice for things that, like, because literally, like, we were doing some construction work because we bought a house that was an really old house. It's an old Victorian, because obviously it's my thing. I grew up in that kind of town, so I like old Victorian. And I watch way too much HGTV, so I'm like, let's get a fixer-upper. So we were doing some construction work in here, and my contractor was using a saw to saw part of this wall, and the heat from that set off the fire alarm. So we turned it off and called ADT and told them, don't worry, there's no fire, it was just, you know, the heat from the saw. But they're like, oh, okay, that's great. We'll let the fire department know, but they're already going to be dispatched no matter what. I'm like, what? So then and then I was like, oh man, like now I got to go outside and explain to the fire department. They had like 4 or 5, like, you know, engines come over to these huge trucks come to like our door. I was like, sorry guys, false alarm. Sorry to waste your time and your resources. So that part's embarrassing, but I'm like, great. Now we're gonna be like the boy who cried wolf house, you know. So. That part, not too cool, but it's nice knowing that I have the security, like, and the only thing, too, is I feel like there's a lot of glitches with it. Like, there's always, I don't even know what, we have a glitch in it right now. So the past, like, few nights, my husband's like, I gotta call them because this one thing keeps going off and then beeps all day. That's my experience. So overall, it's not terrible, but, you know, there's definitely some improvements that could be made.
That's true.
But a dog is the best, honestly. Best form of security.
Or a really, really, really big cat.
That works too. And both of them are cute, way cuter forms of security anyway, so.
Did you guys ever see the video of the world's biggest cat? It's, I think it's either 4 feet or 5 feet, and it weighs about 28 pounds. It's really cute.
Oh my,
Yeah,
gotta check that out. That's crazy.
those cats are amazing, and you
Wow.
can't tell. You can't tell because when they're kittens, they're little kittens, and you don't know that they're going to grow to be bigger than your lap. Yeah, they're pretty
That's a
amazing.
big surprise. After a while, you're thinking to get like a 15-pound cat or something, and then it turns out, no, a little bit more than that. Oh, that's yeah.
Keith,
Yes.
I have to actually jump on another call, so I gotta go.
Well, wrapping up the interview segment, it was a very special interview, and I'm glad both of you are now friends. The three of us are now friends, and keep in touch, and I'm looking forward to building a friendship with you guys.
Yes.
Me too. It was great. Yeah, it was nice hanging out with both you guys. Thank you.
I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, that's good. Thanks.
Bye.
Nice meeting you. Bye.
Bye.